All right. So, good evening and welcome back if you have been attending our faculty interaction sessions. And welcome to the session if you're joining for the first time, right? So, my name is Rajgopal, and a lot of my colleagues are also there behind the scenes who are anchoring this session. And today's session is on the BSc Biology program offered at Azim Range University, right? And apart from Bangalore, you should know we also started the program at our Bhopal campus in 2023. And in fact, the speakers today are our faculty members teaching at the Bhopal campus. Right? And I'm not doing, in the interest of time, I'm not doing their introduction or reading the profile. You should look at their work on our website, right? The, the kind of biologists and ecologists that they are, it's best understood from our website. And and biology we have been offering it from since 2015 when we started the program, and we've come a long way as a university, right? We've come a long way as a university. And when the way I look at the biology program, when I go for sessions in schools across the country, for some reason even in class 11 and 12, it's kind of get limited to human physiology, or preparing for uh, or to wanting to become a doctor. And we're going to break all that myths today that for us, biology, to quote Alok and Ananya from the tagline, for biology for us is, of course, dealing with personal health till the planetary health, right? That's the range of biology for us. And I think I was just waiting until people are joining. I think we have enough quorum now to start the session. So I will let Ananya to take over from here. And then what we will do is, if for the participants, of course, Ananya will be focusing on talking more about the biology program. But if you have specific questions on admission related procedural questions on last date, etc., etc., my colleagues behind the scenes will be happy to answer. So you can ask your questions on the chat window. And when time comes, you can also come and ask questions live to our faculty members, right? So with that short introduction, Ananya, if you'd like to share your screen and you can take it from here. And Alok, you can come in between to add. And over to you, Ananya. And Alok.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just briefly talk about BSc in biology at our university, especially Bhopal campus, because Alok and I are both in the Bhopal campus. But if there are any overarching questions, I'm sure we can answer them. Alok, please feel free to interrupt me at any point if something feels a little unclear. Okay, so first I will start with what are we trying to achieve with the program. I'm going to talk in English. अगर किसी को कुछ समझ में ना आए तो please either chat में लिख दीजिएगा, or maybe Alok can explain in Hindi. I can also try, but sometimes my Hindi is not so good. Okay. So basically what we are trying to do is a hands-on approach, right? Because many times it happens in schools that you only read about biology, but biology is not only about the books. You have to go out of the classroom. So you have to go either outside in the world, or you have to go in a lab. So what you can see and what you cannot see, microscopic things. We are trying to provide an exposure to all of that. That's number one. Then we also have a bunch of courses which will expose you to sort of every type of biology that is out there. So we usually used to think previously that biology is only botany, zoology, and that's it. But it's not that anymore. Now there is also maths in biology, as it should be. So there are those courses which are also offered. And if math scares you, then there are ways we provide support for this. So अगर because सारे courses English में हैं, अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे English उतनी नहीं आती, then you can always get support for English so that your English is also improving along with your study of biology. So some of the courses we offer, and I will go into a little bit more detail in the next slide, is that there is exposure to ecology, there is quantitative biology, which is maths and biology and how maths comes in. And then there is molecular biology, things that you cannot see, things that are happening in a molecular level, like DNA, RNA, all of those things. Then you also have a choice of taking elective subjects. So the question is, why are we doing all this? Why can't we just stick to the classical system, जो दूसरे colleges में usually होता है? Because it's also going to make you more exposed to every kind of option that there is. So you can choose your own career path. So we have something called occupational track, which means, and I will give a little more detail in the next slide, which means आपको कैसा job करना है या आपको इसके बाद क्या करना है, that comes in. So you can choose that path for yourself. You take some of the courses which are called core courses, जो लेना ही होगा आपको in biology and also in whatever major you choose. And then there are these optional courses you can take, which makes you job ready, because ultimately that is the whole point of a degree, right? And again, if you don't want to do a job and you want to pursue higher education, that is also something that we try to make you ready for. That's why we are providing so much exposure to different things. Um, you can also do a minor if biology is not the only thing you're interested in. For example, when I was young, I was also interested in English literature, but I didn't get a chance to do that. But here you can do a minor in any English literature or any of the humanities subjects or social science. And that might come in useful later on, because as we know that the whole job scenario is changing and becoming a lot more dynamic. The more skills you have, it's easier for you. And at the end of your degree, so there's a 4-year course, as you might know. At the end of your degree, that's in your 3rd year, you start working on your honors thesis project. So we have faculty members from different areas of biology. We work on different things. There are people who are working on cancer. There are people working on photosynthesis, people who work on ecologists and evolutionary biologists. So whichever path interests you, you go and talk to the faculty member and you can do a project in that particular field. You come up with a proposal and you work on that. Alok, do you have something to add? Okay. Okay, so the courses we offer very quickly. First is we introduced you to the basics of biology, which is called the introductory course. And then we move into the specifics. These are all courses you have to take because these will be called core courses like ecology, evolutionary biology, quantitative biology, which I already said. Then there are courses which are flexible. So you don't have to take them, but they add to your skill set. So there is science communication. Nowadays, many people study science and then they want to make it easier for people, for the general public, basically. So you can take up a course which helps you, makes you ready for that kind of a career path. Then there is history of biology. So you understand where all these discoveries in biology have come from. Where did biology start? Then we have occupational tracks. Like I said, this comes after your 2nd year, right? Occupational track, Alok?
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. So 2nd year, and occupational track means you can go into different paths that will make you ready for a job. So there's conservation occupational track, we call them OT. Then there is data and democracy. That is something, if you're interested in, there's so much data in biology, right? Maybe that is the right career path for you. Then there is media and journalism. Again, if you want to become a science content creator, that is something you can take. Then there are the ones which I'm interested in, which is biochemistry, cell biology, genetics. And of course, there will always be electives of choice. So there will be specific subjects like epigenetics, cancer biology. These kind of electives are also offered. But this, I have not put down the names because this is dynamic, depends on the kind of faculty members, what they want to offer at that point. And this differs between Bangalore and Bhopal, of course. Then, which is the most important question, and this is my last slide, is what can you do with this degree? That is the question we get again and again. So first is you can become a writer, right? Writing is a big part of our whole system, the whole program. There's quite a bit of writing involved. So if that is something which interests you in the long run, you can become a science journalist or a science writer. Many people do that, and that job field is really opening up. Of course, pursue research or higher studies because you will have lab experience, you will have field experience, some in the 4 years. So you can take that track as well, do higher studies. You can work in an industry. You can become an instructor in biology. For example, if you do an education degree after this, or you pursue a B.Ed program, which is available in Bangalore, you can become a teacher in biology. You can pursue coding. Biology is so much data right now, as it has always been. And there are a couple of coding courses, programming language courses we offer. So if you take that up, you can pursue that path as well. And finally, which is the motivation behind our university, which is bring about change in the social sector. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen because those are the slides I have. If anyone has any questions or if Alok wants to chime in, please do.
We can have some questions and then maybe I can speak a little bit.
Yeah. What I also do is, if there are people who are watching this for the first time, I just explain how the curriculum is structured. And but if there are questions, you can straight away ask in the chat if you would like to ask something specific to the faculty. But I'll just share the screen. The point I was trying to make here is this is something which I specifically prepared for the Bhopal campus, right? So there is a major that is you have to choose biology as a major they're interested in. You can combine that with a occupation area, the whatever Ananya said in a different format, and you make the choice of minor in the second year. And the key thing to remember here is in the final year you could do a research with the faculty member. Or you say that no, it's not research. You want to do an internship in occupation area. You could do that also. And if you remember carefully, what Ananya was also talking about this flexible curriculum, right? So alongside biology, somebody needs to be on mute. Things of background. So thank you so much. Yeah. So along with biology, you could do courses from English, history. If you're somebody interested in getting into science communication, that you could do. And then you also have common curriculum courses. So I'll stop now. I think this is a quick summary of how your 4-year learning experience. It's not just another BSc Biology degree that you are sending up. So the minor choices same in both the campuses, and not really. If you come to Bangalore, we'll have a much more larger list of program. I think I'm uh, answering the question that got asked. So there could be a little bit more, but the core biology that's been taught is the same. Of course, the elective choices, as Ananya said, will be different depending on faculty members. Will the technical aspect of biology be taught in any year? I didn't quite understand that question. Maybe Ananya, Alok, you can answer this question. Technical. I'll
I was
stop.
going to answer in the chat. So I want to know what they mean by technical aspect,
Yeah,
because everything is technical, right? Whatever we are teaching.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. So like I mentioned, there is one course in your first year itself where you are introduced to a programming language. And if you continue to be interested in that, then there will be electives that you can choose from. And you can choose the coding elective and move forward with that. Additional to that, we also do things like workshops. So there is a coding workshop planned later this year, and people will probably opt for that. And that's completely voluntary, but that is additional exposure we provide from the regular studies that you're already doing, which is part of the program. So if you're interested in those things, you are exposed to that as well. There's an admission process question. Are the minor choices same in both campuses? No. I mean, depends on what courses are being offered, right? So right now, the courses we are offering are, I mean, the programs we are offering are social science, economics, English, and history. So you can do a minor in those. And then there's an archaeology minor that's supposed to come up in Bhopal. I'm answering for Bhopal right now. And a museum studies minor, which will also start at some point. But then Bangalore has different subjects being offered, so different minors.
Rajgopal, if I may just come in, I think,
Please,
yeah. I think the first and foremost question, if you're interested to take admission in APU, whether Bhopal or Bangalore, is to ask yourself why you want to do biology. Right? People have very many different reasons. You might like biology a lot. You might want to be a doctor, but you did not get admission and you're pursuing this line because you're interested in biology in general. You might not like maths or physics and hence biology. People can have very different reasons. Um, the main, and of course, we are saying that APU BSc Biology course is quite different from other places. And I think there are 3 or 4 reasons why we keep saying this. One reason is that we are not going in depth of one single subject within biology. The degree is BSc Biology. What it means is that it will give you an overall comprehensive understanding of various subdisciplines of biology. So it will be very integrative and interdisciplinary, right? So there will be, on one hand, there would be molecules, and on the other hand, there would be ecosystems and the planet, planetary health, as people called it, right? So molecular biology to, say, global change biology, all would be covered in a span of 4 years. And I think in that aspect, the BSc Biology program is very different. The second thing is we do not believe in spoon feeding, right? So we will not uh, quite often, people either like biology because there are a lot of facts. Those who are good with memorizing, they like the fact and informative aspect of biology. But quite often, people do not like biology because there are too many facts, right? Millions of species, and each species coming with its own set of characteristics, traits, physiology, etc., right? We do not believe in giving merely the facts. So information and facts are very important aspect, but we will not give just that. The more important aspect would be thinking and critical thinking, especially. So just knowing the answer is not important, but how you arrive at it. So there's a lot of emphasis on pedagogy, mentoring, handholding, not just giving ready-made answers. Right? That's the second main aspect. The third main aspect in which I think APU BSc Biology program differs a lot from other places is that BSc in biology is not taught as a stand-alone subject. So it's not taught as something that exists in a bubble. It's always in context to something else. So, for example, the context could be how biology developed simultaneously with other disciplines. So there's an interdisciplinary context. How biology exists in the wider realm of the society, right? So there's a societal aspect. So, for example, do inequalities that exist in the outside society, are they also reflected in biology, so on and so forth, right? So, kind of giving a context for biology. And finally, as we said, that there's a vast breadth. So going in depth of each sub-discipline within biology is not possible, but we would have each term delving into something specific. So first 2 or 3 semesters are for giving an overall understanding of biology. So those would be treated as foundational semesters. The third to sixth semesters would be kind of centered around mid-level understanding, and seventh and eighth semester would deal specifically about in-depth understanding of whatever the student likes to do. So, for example, so those semesters would have a lot of electives. Students can kind of customize their learning experience uh, along with research or work experience related things. So this is overall the biology program, the intention and motivation behind it, and what could be achieved. Specifically talking about occupational track, the main reason one started occupational track is to kind of impart skills. So just giving theoretical knowledge and theoretical background to the students in the 4-year program, we realized that it is not enough. It is very important if someone wants to go, for example, for higher education, it is important that they do have certain skills. But also, someone might not want to go for higher education and might want to just have a work related experience, want to start earning very quickly, want to start working very quickly. And so, we would like those people also to be, in a way, job ready. And one of the main reasons for having occupational minors or occupational tracks is that. So, for example, there's an occupational track called biodiversity and conservation, and that track kind of prepares you to work with civil society organizations or institutes that deal with environment, biodiversity, conservation, etc. As Ananya said, there's a track in data and democracy. So, someone who is interested in exploring The policy making, decision making, because science does not exist in isolation. There's a lot of policy and decision making that's going behind the doors, behind the scenes. There's a lot of data. So, for example, data analysis is a very, very upcoming field in biology as well. And so, someone who takes that OT would kind of get those skills. Media and journalism, as we discussed, would be, for example, the communication aspect, communication side of sciences and biology specifically. So someone who wants to, for example, become a science writer or science communicator might be interested in that. So these are kind of, there are certain very core courses, core biology courses that we would want students to take. There are certain core common curriculum courses that everyone should take, and the reasoning behind that is that if we are studying biology, one should have some sort of a context to that. So, context of India. So, for example, there are courses called as Understanding India. Then there are flexible credit, and those are left to the students' choices and interests. And of course, then there are occupational tracks. So these are various some core courses which are mandatory for the major students to take, and some flexible or optional courses that students must take. So in some sense, it's a potpourri, it's a customizable learning experience that APU provides. Many other places might provide it, but I think APU, especially BSc Biology program, is one of the first ones in the country to do that for you guys.
So, Alok, there is a question which says, I have been selected for BSc Biology Bangalore and have interest in wildlife and zoology. How will this course help me go further in this field?
Absolutely. So one of the foremost institutes in India in wildlife sciences is Wildlife Institute of India. And in the current batch in Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun, out of the 10 students, 5 are from APU. So APU has a very good, very successful track record if you want to pursue that aspect. And this is without having an occupational track in biodiversity and conservation, which we have started, which we will start from this August. So once that track starts, you would be even better prepared to pursue wildlife sciences and ecology evolution in general for your higher studies.
So there's a question from Partho Hajra, which is asking about courses. So I'll just share that my screen again. So basically, like Alok said, that we have common curriculum courses which everyone has to take. Then there are courses which are, one second, my Zoom is glitching. Okay, yeah. Then there are courses which are core courses, which again, only biology students have to take. Unless people are doing a minor in biology, they will take some of those courses. So those are there is another category of courses that you're taking, which are called core courses. Then there are some flexible credit courses. We have a couple which we offer as part of biology, but you can also take courses from other subjects like history, social science, economics. That can also be a flexible credit course. So you don't have to take them, but if you do take them, they increase the number of credits on your transcript at the very end and also give you a better, a more diverse skill set. Then we have electives. Electives are courses that you have to take, but you have a choice in which elective you take. If you are more interested in ecology, you take those electives. More interested in biochemistry, those electives, coding, that elective, something like that. You make a choice. You have a certain degree of choice in that matter. Again, depends which course is being offered in which semester. And finally, we have occupational tracks, which Alok just spoke about. So those are again a different basket of courses. They make you ready for a job, the path you eventually want to take. One is data democracy, so policy related. Another is conservation, if you want to be a conservation biologist. And then there is media and journalism, if you want to be a science content creator or you're just interested in media and journalism separately and want to be a science journalist. So these are the category of courses we have. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the question was around compulsory courses or core courses in BSc Biology. Not sure, but that thing you covered. Yeah, I think in
If
one of his slides you had that what's
okay,
covered in
let me
biology.
look for that. Let me look for that once.
Yes, I think this is where I think somebody was asking, do we have a course on bioinformatics or quantitative biology?
Yeah, so quantitative biology gives you like a taste of a programming language. There is a portion of R you're introduced to a programming language, and then later there are electives we will offer in bioinformatics that you can take up. And like I said, not everything has to be part of a course, right? If you're interested, like Alok said, there isn't spoon feeding, but there are opportunities. So you can take them up. We provide workshops. We encourage you to go to other places and take up things. For example, we are thinking of offering a workshop in coding. How it will be, we haven't particularly thought about that yet, but based on how many people are interested. Then we are also thinking of offering a workshop in science illustration, because that has become, many people are interested in art, drawing, painting, and biology is one big topic you can focus on. So these are also workshops we're thinking of offering. So if you're interested, you can always opt for these things. Not everything has to be motivated by marks for you to be interested in that. If you're interested in something, there are options and you can take them up.
Have people seen the program document for biology?
I hope, yeah, I could put the link there. They should, I think
Okay. Otherwise, I could quickly flash it, especially the course structure, uh, if everyone wants.
yeah, thanks. Thanks for the put that. I think that
Okay.
particular page is quite exhaustive.
Okay. I'll just quickly put the bio major program list, I mean, course list.
This
So
will
in
help.
the
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
in the year one, semester one, we have an introductory course called What is Biology, and that centers more around molecular biology, cell biology, genetics, evolution, very preliminary sort of understanding around it, and it's a foundational course. And these are all core courses. Year one, semester two has two biology courses: Introduction to Organisms and Ecosystems. That is the first one, and it is a foundational course in ecology and the environment. The second is quantitative thinking for biologists, and that deals more about little preliminary level of maths, quantitative abilities, and coding. Then in year two, we have two, semester three, we have cell biology and introduction to ecology. In semester four, we have evolution, genetics, and a course called form and function, which delves into morphology and anatomy. Uh, in semester five, we have chemistry and biochemistry, and this is where the electives start coming in. So, depending on the faculty's expertise, certain electives would be offered. In semester six, there is lab techniques and a course called seminar, wherein students present, students read, students kind of synthesize knowledge that's already there in their own way. And then year four is basically internship projects and more electives. So this is more or less the structure of the biology major program.
Thank you. Thanks, Alok. I think that's probably would have helped the participants. Um, right. I
So
think a lot of, I think we're
one
answering a lot of questions. Yeah, Ananya.
Yeah, there was one question about how people will be trained in research. So, like Alok and I both already said, there will be hands-on approach in your first year onwards. You'll be exposed to lab and field, and then eventually you can do honors project with um, uh, faculty members. And if you are particularly interested before starting your honors thesis, also you can approach one of us, whether in here or Bangalore, depending on whichever campus you are in. And there can be an opportunity for you to pursue research, maybe at a smaller scale in the beginning, because bachelor's degree is the first degree you get right out of school. But then eventually you hopefully will be, with again motivation from your side, trained enough to be able to apply for research opportunities later.
And in the new scheme of things, they get to do a year-long research if they want. Final year, right? Fourth year, there's a lot of space to do a serious research with a faculty mentor, which was kind of missing in our previous 3-year honors program. But still, even with the 3-year honors program, I have to say that many of them have got into integrated PhD programs in the country, and this 4 year is only going to open up more avenues for students who are interested in higher studies. Right? And somebody's asking for a recording of the session. Yes, we will keep it loaded.
What is the major difference between regular BSc and honors degree? Well, honors degree means you're doing a thesis at the end.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the way the policy also says is the honors degree is for those who study for 4 years at a range university. If you decide to exit after 3 years, that we think you shouldn't. But you decide to exit after 3 years, you will graduate with a BSc degree without a honors.
So aside from that, if you're just someone who is interested in biology for the love of the subject, we also have things like a bio club. We are starting it soon in the Bhopal campus, and there will be Bangalore already has this. So these are like additional opportunities for you to interact with scientists across the country, uh, do additional activities like, bird watching, nature walk, things like this. So these are also part of the club. So you can do that or, set up a podcast interview someone, something like that. So these are additional opportunities which are again not part of like, you're not going to get marks for this, but this will definitely help you in increasing your exposure to the subject.
There's a question on switching majors. I mean, the thing is, Sharavanan, it's not in the design, right? When you join the first year, we really want you to think through the major that you want to study. So this is the hypothetical question. The 4 year batch started in 23, right? So we don't know whether there will be requests asking for a change. We have allowed in the first few weeks into the semester, first semester, some of them wanted to. Suddenly they found that philosophy is their love, and they moved from economics to philosophy or economics to social science. So a lot of factors depends where you may have to go through an interview with a faculty member as to why you want to change. So it's not an easy change, uh, but that door is open. The second year, I'm not really sure. Career opportunities in pharma industry. I mean, it's not pharma could be only one part of it. I mean, we know our graduates who are working as this is my famous. I come from the IT world. I worked in the dark world of IT for a long time. I always thought programming is business application programming. So there is something called a clinical programmer, right? Who is understanding the biological data. So there are our graduates who are working as clinical programmers in pharmaceutical industry. And the placement percentage, see, the thing is, Pradeep, for that question, what history is telling us is so far 60, 70, or maybe more than that, percentage of graduates are opting for higher education. There is a very small percentage who are looking for jobs, and those who want jobs, we help them find jobs. Right? So, so that's the thing. But I'm not uh, claiming 100% placement come to a same French university. I mean, if you have a good degree, jobs will chase you. That's the way we look at the program, and it's not like a set sector or a set industry that they will enter after biology program. If you remember what Ananya and Alok were trying to say is, it all depends on how the learner will make use of the space called as the Premji University, and they will enter into, and the same class 30 students can do 30 different things, and that's the true idea of liberal education, right? So yeah.
There's an EVS question.
We see. So when Santanu should have been here, Santanu Goswami kind of thing. So the thing is, I mean, I used to keep saying there are going to be three places where there's going to be jobs in future, right? One is education, because we have 42 crore children in the country. Second is going to be a lot of jobs in the health space to take care of, not I didn't mean to say doctors kind of thing, right? And the third is going to be in climate related environment sustainability kind of things. Right? So if you ask me, there could be a lot of jobs as a sustainability manager, or uh, maybe working in what I call climate jobs, right? Could be huge kind of climate jobs. So the first batch hasn't graduated, but we do see our students working in the space in multiple variety of organizations. It will not be, I don't know how well you look at the sector in India. It may not be the typical service sector job that you are imagining. It could be research organizations like a World Resources Institute. It could be a company in Pune called Prayas Energy, right, which is doing some. If you ask Alok, will have a huge list of organization that he'll be engaged with. Yeah.
So just to give you an idea about places where students can go, one of the students who recently passed out from Bangalore campus, BSc Biology program, she's right now working as a research associate, as a project associate in the Center for Ecological Sciences in IISc. And so that's one end of, if someone who is interested in research, they can start from internships in such places. There's one other student who is working with a conservation NGO in Tamil Nadu. And so depending on students' interest, they can choose many different kinds of avenues. Specifically about conservation OT and other OTs also, whenever such occupational tracks are proposed, before proposing, the faculty members who are proposing it are asked to have some sort of an understanding of where do the quote unquote job market lies, right? And so if you're proposing these occupational track minors, we're kind of supposed to justify them before we bring them in. So media and journalism, data and democracy, and conservation and biodiversity are three areas in which, as Raj Gopal said, there would be a lot of jobs. Of course, after BSc Biology, one can expect that these jobs will be entry-level jobs. These won't be, immediately give you some sort of attraction regarding career, but these would be should be considered as entry-level jobs. And you would then have to build upon it, build upon those skills with higher education, with further skill-based training, etc., etc. But yes, some sort of entry-level job can definitely be expected after BSc Biology.
Thank you. Thanks, Alok. I think there was a question. How similar, different is this course from as compared to
Yeah.
other universities? See, the thing is, it's like this. When I get this question asked a lot, I mean, I don't get into this comparison, right? When it's not like, I mean, Azim Premji University. We are not in a game competition competing with other universities. These are all institutions that we respect a lot. You should do that, right? You should ask yourself, what is the kind of learning environment that you want to be in, right? I think that will give you the answer. And I can tell you at Azim Premji University, the classroom sizes are going to be very, very small. It's not going to be not more than, the max is going to be 35 or 40. It's not like a class of 100 and where somebody's coming in a mic. You can't hide in classrooms at Azim Premji University. That's number one. Second is, it's a residential program, and there's a lot of element of care that's in the design, right? When you feel like not asking a question in the classroom, you can always make use of the faculty office hours. So there'll be a lot of care and mentoring that'll be there. The most important thing, the way I look at it, we are not just trying to give you only depth in the discipline of biology, right? The idea, of course, you will graduate with the sensibilities of a fantastic biologist. That's for sure, right? Uh, sure in the sense, if you go through the reading, writing, the biology is embedded in a larger curriculum framework of Azim Premji University that has got an occupational minor, it has got a common curriculum, right? If that is all appealing to you, yes, Azim Premji University. So I'll stop here. Otherwise, I don't generally compare. You should do that. You could. When I generally tell this to people who are confused between whether I should do physics or engineering, I tell them to do actually put in an Excel sheet. What is that you're learning in engineering, and what is that learning in physics? You may find out that probably BSc Physics is a much better design program than the mediocre engineering degree. I'm nothing against engineering. I'm an engineer myself, but the curricular comparison is what you should do. Okay, sorry. Long answer to a short question.
If I may answer the CB Thomas question, how similar different is the course with respect to ISA as a short?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but you can add to Alok.
Yeah, just quickly adding on to you. See, I think the major difference lies in people who are teaching and not really in terms of quality, but everyone brings in their own experiences. And so I wouldn't say that there's much difference regarding quality, but just based on what kind of faculty pool people have, right? Some places have certain people having so some departments will be very good in ecology, some departments might be very good in biochemistry, molecular biology. So the quality of education won't be much different, I would say. It's just what you're interested in. And so I think your decision should be based on what sub-discipline within biology interests you and whether those people are good in those places.
Right. I think this was designed as a short talk like this, so that there is enough time for interaction. But if there are more questions, feel free to type in, or somebody wants to come live and ask a question, you can raise your hand, and then we would answer that also. Somebody asking, can we visit the campus? Yeah, I think that the best way to understand Azim Premji University is meeting us in person. Huh? The digital platform is something that we try, but you could visit both the Bangalore or the Bhopal campus if you are anywhere near Bhopal. Both the campuses are open. Always visit us. We can take you around. So I think we have been answering the minors with a biology or a maths minor somebody is asking is available in definitely in Bangalore, right? Maths as a major is not yet offered in at Bhopal. So once that comes in, but however, you should know that the maths that you require to learn biology is part of the core courses as part of biostatistics or what Ananya was talking about. If you get into invariably, a lot of biologists will have to handle biological data. There is programming in R that is compulsory. And if you're somebody who is interested to get into the area of policy making and things like that, you will always do a data science. We don't call it data science. Data democracy and development. Occupational minor is that you could do. Right? Otherwise, the maths in higher education is mostly algebra, linear algebra, real analysis, complex analysis. I don't really understand what your question was regarding this bio with maths, where the question was coming. Or within algebra, it is going to be group theory, ring theory. That's what is taught in maths major in not only Azim Premji University. Generally, BSc Maths is about the three pillars, right? Linear algebra, and real analysis. And of course, we also do a little bit of complex analysis. Also, is important. It's an elective for us. So yeah.
There are a couple of admissions questions.
Your admissions are on. I mean, I don't know which class you are in, Vishrut. If you are in class 12, this is the week. In the next, we're just still waiting for confirmation with the admission committee. The announced last date is 6th of March. That is tomorrow evening. We're still awaiting whether the admission committee will give us at least 2 more days for people to apply. The entrance test is on April 7th, held at around 30 plus centers in the country. And those who are shortlisted in the entrance test, you will have I like to call it interaction with the faculty members. It's not like an interview where we are checking we're not trying to put you in a spot. So if you're not looking for this year, we have 2 rounds. We do an early round in December. If you're looking for 25 admissions, we do the first round in December, and the second round happens in March, April. Right? How to clear the entrance test? I think Chandrakant or Anup, we should give our selection process link. There's a lot of sample. So oh, admission joining. You're talking about the joining. The joining, the offer letter will tell it very, very. You qualified for both entrance. Oh, you'll get the offer letter very soon from us. The classes will start mid-July, end of July. But some of them will also have to come for a summer program, right? Yeah.
Summer program starts usually end of June.
End of June, yeah. Summer program is starting end of June, yeah. So you'll get those, yeah. Those who are selected, you will get a detailed communication regarding dates of joining, things like that. Yeah. Okay, Chandrakant has been answering a lot of questions there, and okay. On that note, should we wrap up this discussion or wait for more questions? I think that there are one more questions. What about students who have been selected but are waiting to give other entrance examinations? See, it's like this. Round one is for people who are very clear that Azim Premji University is their top choices, right? So if you have got an admission to Azim Premji University, not because I work here, I wouldn't let that go. It's probably the time for you to understand more about the programs, more about the program, and understand this is the place to study. And waiting for give other entrance examination, you'll have to take a call at that point of time, and you have to take a decision soon whether you are selected and you want to join, because we have a waiting list also. But if you accept the thing, you're taking a spot, and we almost accept that you're joining. How safe is the hostel in the campus? Yeah, you should come to see. I don't know where you're speaking from. You should I can't explain safety in words here, but the way we have designed safety is there is one level of safety for the residences. We don't call it hostel. It's student residences. There is no hostel warden, but we have resident mentors. This is your space. Because the first level of security or safety is designed for the residences, right? With biometric entry in places with security guards, right? That's first level. The second level is the safety within the campus, in the periphery of the campus. It's quite an open space. It's quite an open space within the periphery of the campus. And if it's Bangalore, what we have done is we are also quite concerned about the safety just outside. So for Bangalore, what we have done is there is a bus shuttle that keeps on flying between morning 7 till 10 in the night if you want to go to this town called Sarjapura. So yeah, but more safety is when you come and see the hostel on the campus.
There's a question about what is the summer program. So I mean, I wrote it, but
Yeah.
basically, if you're selected after the interview for additional English support or math support, like I said, in biology, there is quant, you need to know quant. So if you did not take maths in 11 and 12, you'll probably be selected for the summer program, which is an additional 5 weeks where you are provided extra support so you can clear those courses later on. When is the next organized university tour being held? I think.
So yeah, the university tour, people come and visit us, especially in Bangalore. We're kind of requesting people to come on Fridays. Can come between 11 to 1 or 2 to 4. There's a lot of people who walk in on Fridays, right? And there's a form. If you fill the form, then we are much more prepared. Bhopal, it's quite. You can come in Monday to Friday during office hours. I don't know which campus you're asking, because we have two campuses, and 2 years we'll have the third campus. Yeah. See, there's a lot of question how to clear the entrance test. It's quite. It may sound very simple to what I'm saying. Please do practice our sample question papers. It's not a speed test. It's not a speed test. We're not trying to put you in a pressure like do 100 questions in 50 minutes, something like that. It's try to get as many questions right as possible is the important thing here. And if you're preparing, and English reading comprehension is important. So that's quite important, and you get tested. But what is English reading comprehension? You're seeing a passage that you have never seen before. Can you read, make meaning out of it? Make notes and answer the question. So, but sample papers, thank you, Anup, has put the. So if you do that, I'm sure you'll get a call for the interview. How much time will be the given to pay? Generally, we give 10 to 12 days, but if you're really, really, really not able to, for there are reasons why not able to pay the fees and it is another 4 to 5 days extension, you should let us know. You should let us know. So, but normally you have to pay the first year, first semester tuition fee and accommodation charges is what to pay. Okay, now I think the questions are just warming up. When I said we're going to stop, then the questions are coming. Yeah. But it really helped when you say ask questions of campus tour, which campus you're talking about, whether it's Bangalore or Bhopal or both. But yeah, if it's Bhopal, I can tell you that you won't get stuck in traffic jams the way you get stuck in Bangalore. I can confidently say it's much more a predictable journey from whichever part of the. With the details of financial aid, yes, if I've applied for scholarship, the evaluation, the team, there's a separate financial aid team that does the evaluation, and you would receive it quite soon. Uh, if you've not applied for scholarship, if you don't come under the income bracket for scholarship and you're selected, the offer letter is already sent. It's either if you're not seeing that, uh, you can check your mailbox or just call the admission help desk tomorrow. Or on the portal, there is something called raise a query. They will resend the offer letter to you. But as I'm repeating what I said, if you've applied for our financial aid, you'll have to wait for a couple more days, right?
There's a question on what opportunities will I have if I want to study topics that aren't covered in the bio course offered at APU. Very good question. One aspect of a customizable learning experience is that based on the students' enthusiasm and capacities, uh, faculty, because it's a small class, faculties basically take the education outside the classroom and then one-on-one learning, teaching, mentoring experience. So, for example, in the first or second year, if a student is promising and is showing that he or she can be challenged much beyond the existing course load, then some sort of an informal or even formal writing experience. For example, writing a small review paper, writing a small article, writing a small op-ed, or even, for example, 4 to 6 months of internship while the course is going on can be arranged, and it's already happening in both the campuses. So I think opportunities such as these can be arranged, and they do happen.
Yeah, lot of opportunities to study outside of college. Right?
I must mention a small thing here. APU is, so apart from the programs and courses that APU runs, APU also has a lot of initiatives that are happening on the crossroads of university and the wider society. So for example, recently, in the last 2 years, we have been conducting expositions and traveling expositions such as mountains of life, rivers of life, forests of life, and someone who might be, for example, interested in ecology or conservation gets an opportunity not just to interact with people who are arranging and working on these areas, but also present, speak in such events themselves. So students are encouraged to enroll as interns in these events. And there are a lot of such outside classroom opportunities, informal opportunities that are also happening.
Thank you, Alok. Yeah, those who are selected for the program, this is only first among the many. There'll be many more faculty interactions that we are planning. Those who are selected because they'll have very specific questions about joining. This is a very generic session for people who may want to apply. There could be students who are in class 11th or entering into the class 12th who are joining. But thanks for the feedback, Sharavanan, that you found this helpful. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing yours. I called your last name. Name is Selvi. Sorry.
Any more questions from students, parents,
We
mentors?
seem to have done well. I mean, we have answered. I was quickly looking at the chat, and then I think we seem to have done well. And yeah, nobody. This is probably the first webinar where nobody came on audio or video and asked us any question. They were quite happy because chatting and we were also responding, uh, picking every question. But
If I missed your question by mistake, you could directly ask us here.
Yeah. I'm also, thank you, Alok. If I miss answering something that you really wanted to ask and we have not, or you can type it in again and then. So I think there was a question on the kind of research projects students have done. We had collated all that on the website somewhere.
Yeah, Chandrakant provided a link for that.
Link
And
to the,
we are fairly new, but we have our own projects going on. So you can always join us after your first year and get started with some research work if you're interested. That is something. Otherwise, you can always start in third year, like for your honors thesis. Jia Bhatnagar, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much for the session, first of all, and I'm really excited to join for the program. I've been selected. So I asked the question about the tour of the university. So in one of the previous sessions, there has been one tour that has been held that was specifically for those who are interested in the BSc program. So it was like modified for them, I think they said. And they said because of the boards that are going on right now, many of them were not able to attend. So they
yeah,
said they will hold one again.
yeah. So we had one on 2nd of March. We're talking about that, correct?
Yes, I'm talking about that one.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for people are selected. We will have a separate faculty interaction. Okay, that's going to come up either sometime next week. You will also have an opportunity to visit the campus, whichever campus you've selected, either Bhopal or Bangalore. Sometime after the board examinations, everything is over. Sometime in April, we will schedule that.
Okay. Okay,
But that's
thank you so
something,
much.
yeah, that definitely will be good to
Yeah,
schedule.
thank you so much.
Not in March, but
Hmm.
let all the exams
Yes,
get over.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you? Where are you speaking from, if I may know?
I'm from Gurgaon, Haryana.
And you would like to come to Bangalore?
Bangalore. Yes, I've been selected for the biology program.
Fair enough.
So there are two courses which are elective related. One is immunology, which you can take that up as an elective. Same goes for neuroscience. So you may not see it as part of the core course, but there is an elective which is offered in Bangalore campus.
Yeah.
After an entrance test, how many days will we get our offer letter? I think you already answered that, right?
Yeah, see the entrance test, not the offer letter, entrance test, we have an interview process which we normally schedule 2 to 3 weeks after the entrance test, right? So your interviews, so April 7th is the thing, end April, May will be the interviews. And after the interviews, you'll have to give us at least 10 days to announce the results. So yeah, so that's how going to be the. Thank you for another informational sessions. Yeah, we are also, in fact, I was telling me and my colleagues, we are also learning a lot. We've been doing this since last Wednesday. And on that note, I think we should slowly wrap up. I think it's also 6 o'clock. And those who have been
Rajgopal, there is another question, Rajgopal,
yeah,
in the chat box
what is that?
related to neuroscience. Related to neuroscience.
Yeah. She said, Ananya did answer that this is offered not as a, see, everything need not be core biology, right? So it's offered as an elective. So those who are interested, they could do that as an elective. It's offered in Bangalore is what he's saying. The same thing for physics also, people think astronomy should be a compulsory subject. Physics is not about astronomy, it could be an elective. So yeah, these are electives. How many flexible courses one take per semester? So, Ananya, to answer quickly your
One.
question.
One.
One, yeah, one. And it's, I mean, you will be able to do 5 to 7 courses maximum,
Yeah.
right? Throughout the 4 years, you will be able to do 5. That's the, since you asked the question, I think we should end that. If you're very, uh, uh, if you're very keen, you could actually carve out a disciplinary minor only doing flexible courses in a particular discipline. But if you think that no, I want to get a flavor of different courses. Okay, biology, I'm doing a major. I want to do one in history, one in English, one in social science. That's also possible. So, but one in a semester. Yeah. And on that note of flexibility, I think we should end that session now. Thank you so much, both Ananya and Alok, for sparing. This is a semester break for them. They've taken time out, right? Semester break.
Mid-semester break, yeah.
Semester break after 8 weeks, everybody takes a break so that students can catch up with their readings and writings, and of course, they have a lot of assignments also to read. And there's no final semester examination at Azim Premji University. There's no controller of examinations. So, yeah. So thanks for the participants who joined and made it lively with your questions. And thanks to my
Thank you
colleagues
so
behind the
much.
scenes answering. Any final words of wisdom, Ananya, Alok, for the participants?
No wisdom. We just hope to see many of you in our university.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we are both at the Bhopal campus, so
Right.
little biased.
I'm staying there. I'm also a little bit biased, but we can get out of the. But especially because I think Bhopal will soon get the tag of Garden City, and Bangalore will probably lose the tag of Garden City. The way things are. So on that note, we will end the session. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.